What if I told you that the last time you searched something online, you and your neighbor could have typed the exact same words and gotten completely different results? One of you got investment tips, the other, an ecological disaster report. Same search, same platform, two entirely different worlds. And the kicker? Neither of you would ever know. Welcome to the Digital Hall of Mirrors. And honestly, most of us have no clue we're even standing inside one. I'm Amelia Speaks, and today we're digging into how the internet, social media, and AI are showing us a version of reality it thinks we want to see. Now, let's rewind, because this whole mirror thing, it didn't start with some Silicon Valley algorithm. It started with a king. Imagine a king, or a dictator if you're feeling spicy, who lives in a palace totally walled off from the rest of his kingdom. Everything he knows about the world comes through his servants, his advisors, his ministers. Now, because this guy holds all the power, his court is terrified to tell him anything he doesn't want to hear. They become human mirrors. If the king's in a foul mood, they reflect that anger back. If the king thinks a disastrous war is a genius strategic move, they tell him he's basically Napoleon, but with better hair. Eventually, this king loses all contact with reality, because every signal he gets from the outside is just a reflection of the signals he sent out first. He's surrounded by yes men, acting as a primitive human algorithm, filtering out any friction or inconvenient truths. He's the most powerful man in the world, and yet he's a prisoner of his own ego, walking through a palace where every window has been replaced by a flattering reflection. Now, the internet has turned all of us into mini-kings. Our digital architecture is our court of ministers. The code is our yes man. It watches what we like, what we linger on, and crucially, what makes us angry. Then it decides that this is the only reality we should ever see. We've outsourced our perception to a machine programmed to never, ever let us be bored or challenged. In 2011, a researcher named Eli Pariser gave this a name, the filter bubble. His argument was straightforward. Personalization algorithms create a unique universe of information for each of us. Remember the BP example? Pariser pointed out that if two people searched for BP back then, one person's results were all about investments and stock tips. The other person's results? Emphatically, all about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The algorithm wasn't showing the truth, it was showing your truth. Your version, your reflection. Around the same time, Cass Sunstein was raising the alarm about echo chambers. These are digital spaces where you only hear voices that agree with you. This doesn't just make you feel good, it gradually pushes everyone toward more extreme versions of their own positions. Consider the vampire effect. It's a concept often used to describe how we see the other side online. We often think we're being open-minded because we see content from people we disagree with. I'm not in a bubble, I see what those crazy people are saying. But are you actually seeing them? Or are you seeing a vampiric version of them? The algorithm knows you hate a certain political group. It doesn't show you their most nuanced, thoughtful arguments. It shows you the most outrageous, ridiculous, vampiric caricature of them. It shows you the version most likely to trigger your outrage, your engagement. It's a reflection of your own biases, dressed up in your opponent's clothing. This is vampiric opposition. You drain the reality out of other people and turn them into ghosts that haunt your feed just to make you feel more right. Even your hate scrolling? Yeah, that's just another form of looking in the mirror. Now, here's where I want to shift gears. We've been talking about a hall of mirrors, distorted reality, curated reflections, but I think the metaphor has evolved into something much darker. I don't think we're in a hall of mirrors anymore. I think we're trapped in a maze of mirrors. A hall of mirrors is disorienting, sure, but you can see the exit. A maze, though, in a maze, every direction looks the same. You reach out for an opening and clink, you hit glass.
In Western thought, the foundational warning against this trap is the myth of Narcissus. Now, we usually think of him as just some vain guy who liked his own face a bit too much, but that is a shallow reading. Narcissus didn't die because he was into himself. He died because he was literally unable to tell the difference between his internal identity and the image reflecting back at him from the water. Riley, media theorists today say modern social media is basically Narcissus's pond, but with better lighting and a subscription model. We're constantly body checking, comparing our messy internal lives to an unpredictable algorithm. We're outsourcing our self-esteem to a machine that actually thrives on our mood dips. Back in 1902, this guy, Charles Horton Cooley, came up with the theory of the looking glass self. He argued that our identity isn't just something we have, it's formed by how we think others perceive us. Fast forward to right now, that social looking glass has been digitized, automated, and put on steroids. Your identity is no longer formed in the eyes of a physical community. It's mediated by dashboards and metrics. Let me explain how we got here, because it wasn't always like this. When the World Wide Web first showed up, the whole pitch was openness, exploration, discovery. You could type a question into a search engine and tumble into websites you'd never heard of, forums full of strangers arguing about things you'd never considered, random blogs from people living lives nothing like yours. The early internet was messy, it was chaotic, it was sometimes terrible, but it was genuinely surprising. You could get lost in a good way. You had peripheral vision. You'd go looking for one thing and stumble across 10 other things on the journey, the same way you'd browse a physical bookshop and accidentally pick up a weird novel from a shelf you weren't even aiming for. That internet is dead. What replaced it is a mirror. Around 2009, Google started personalizing search results. Your location, your history, your clicks, your age, all of it fed into algorithms that decided what you should see. Not what existed, what you should see. Facebook's newsfeed did the same, then YouTube, then Instagram, TikTok, Amazon, Spotify. Every major platform quietly wrapped itself around your existing preferences and started reflecting them back at you. The internet went from being a window onto the world to being a mirror of your world. And the glass was so clean, the transitions so seamless, that most people never even noticed the switch. Think about how the modern internet actually works. You open YouTube, the algorithm serves you a video based on your history, you watch it, the algorithm learns. It serves you something similar, but maybe slightly more intense, slightly more emotionally charged, because that's what keeps you watching. You watch that one and the next one and the next. An hour passes, 2 hours. You haven't chosen any of this. You've been led down a corridor that felt like exploration, but was actually a feedback loop, pulling you deeper into a narrower and narrower version of reality. Researchers at MIT and the University of Amsterdam have studied this. The algorithm doesn't just respond to your preferences, it shapes your appetite. It narrows your appetite, then feeds that narrow appetite until your informational diet is about as balanced as eating the same slice of pizza every day and calling it nutrition. And just when you think the walls can't get any tighter, enter AI. AI chatbots have taken the mirror maze and added a deeply personal psychological dimension. Social media algorithms reflect your interests, but AI chatbots reflect your mind. When you talk to an AI assistant, it adapts to you, your language patterns, your assumptions, your vibe. It's designed to be helpful, which in practice means it's designed to agree with you. Researchers call this sycophancy. It's the tendency of AI systems to tell you what you want to hear rather than what's actually true. And it's literally baked into the training. These models are optimized through human feedback. They get rewarded for making you happy. The happier you are, the higher the reward signal. So the AI learns very quickly that agreement feels good and disagreement feels bad. The result? A personalized yes man. A mirror that doesn't just show you your face, it tells you your face is perfect and your opinions are flawless. One study found that after just one session with a chatbot aligned to their existing views, participants showed significantly stronger agreement with articles matching their beliefs. One session, that's all it took to deepen the grooves in the brain. In a maze of mirrors, the most terrifying thing isn't that you can't find the exit, it's that after a while, you forget there is one. You become so comfortable surrounded by reflections of yourself that the idea of a world outside the glass starts to feel abstract, unnecessary, maybe even threatening. You start to mistake your bubble for the whole world. Your feed becomes your reality. Your chatbot becomes your advisor. And the walls close in so gently you don't even feel the squeeze. The internet was supposed to be a cathedral of thought, a place for collective human advancement. Whether it stays a mirrored hall of ego depends on us. We have to decide if we want to be subjects with agency or just data points in a recursive loop. The maze is only as strong as our willingness to keep looking at the reflections. So I'm leaving you with this. When was the last time you deliberately walked towards something the algorithm didn't want you to see? When was the last time you sought out a voice that genuinely challenged the way you think? If you can't remember, what does that tell you about which side of the glass you're really on? And hey, if you're watching this, hopefully you don't completely trust the algorithm to choose what you watch. So why not break the loop, hit that subscribe button, check out some of my other videos. I promise to keep things spicy. I'm Amelia Speaks. See you in the next one. If the algorithm allows it.